All right, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't think black people should be in a rush to fight in this war against Iran, man. I just don't think it's the smartest play. A lot of times y'all ain't got no choice. You already in the military. But if you thinking about joining, this might be the time to be like, nah, I'm gonna hold off on that. You get what I'm saying? I want to show y'all a video of a white Marine at a Senate hearing, and I want you to see how bad they treated him. So to put something in perspective to let you know that your ass don't stand a chance, bro.
War. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Come on.
Look how they manhandling this dude, bro. They broke his arm. I ain't gonna show you that part because of the community guidelines, but they broke this dude's arm,
for
man.
Israel. Your inability to name that shows your impotence as leaders. Now, this is wrong, and nobody wants to fight for Israel.
They say an actual senator broke his arm because he was the one who pushed him. Well, anyways, this isn't the video. What they showed is on Instagram. His arm was jammed inside of the door, right? So they're pulling in the opposite direction, and I think they broke it at the joint right here. Crazy, bro. But this was a U.S. Marine, highly decorated U.S. Marine, and they didn't give a shit about him. There's more. I want to show you another video of why I don't think you should be fighting in this damn war. Look how they treat the veterans. They're sleeping on the floor. I don't know if you ever slept on the floor before. It ain't that comfortable. If you slept on anything hard, it is not that comfortable. It almost seems like America hates its military personnel, these veterans. Look at this shit, bro. This should really make you mad, bro. I'm dead ass serious. No accommodations for the vets. And you know when they catching some heat, black folks catching hell. In Atlanta. Look at this shit, man. And y'all are going to war to put your life in danger for people who don't have the courtesy in them to give you a bed to sleep in.
I would not fight with the United States. I don't care if I live in the United States. I would not fight with the United States. Just because I live in this country, it doesn't mean I agree with what the powers that be, the government, the higher elites are doing. If you are wrong, you are wrong. You see what I'm saying? And this is not just for the United States. It is any country who is exploiting other countries, exploiting other peoples. I will not fight with you. I will not side with you. I am for righteousness. If you are not standing for righteousness, I will not team up with you. I will not support you. I will not root for you. Oops. My mouth slipped. My tongue slipped. My mouth slipped. My tongue slipped. I don't care.
Yeah, man. I mean, with the history in which we have with this country, you would question anyone who signs up freely, autonomously to go and fight in a war to which you really had no parts in starting, doesn't benefit you in any real way or significant manner. And you're doing it on the behalf of, let's just be real, white supremacy. This is what it's about. It's about white, rich politicians having the network to which they run everything. They want to have all of the resources for themselves. And if they don't necessarily want it for themselves because they need it, they don't want the other people to have it because that gives them an economic advantage. They want to be the one holding all of the chips straight up. And you're helping them do it. You're the gangster. You're the muscle when you join the military to make these rich people richer.
Shout out to Brian McGinnis, the Marine that stood up today in that courtroom and let.
He's talking about the Marine that I showed y'all in the beginning of the video.
Let them know it ain't no reason that we should be fighting for Israel. And I thought for a minute that Marines stuck together, meaning if you touch one of them, you got to touch all of them. But it took 5 coward laws to put that man out the courtroom, and they had a hard time doing it. Even though they broke his hand, I'm glad he said what he said. Fuck Israel. We ain't got no respect for y'all. If y'all want that war with Iran, then y'all go fight Iran. What you want to use Big Brother in America for? Now y'all want the whole world at war? Fuck Israel.
Hey, bro, real talk. The crazy thing is this. Israel can't do nothing with Iran by themselves. They need Big Brother America to step in. And then Big Brother America is consulting with Zelensky from Ukraine how to deal with these drones that's destroying and decimating them, right? Economically, this war makes no sense because you have to spend millions of dollars on defense to protect yourself from $20,000 drones and $100,000 ballistic missiles. And you know what's even more interesting? Some of these countries like Russia and other places have missiles that are too fast for these interceptors to do anything with in the first place. They have missiles that are as fast as 29 Mach. 1 Mach is the sound of speed. So 29 Mach mean that it's 28 times faster than the speed of sound. No THAAD system can destroy that. It'll be here too fast. Before you even know it's on the way, it didn't hit you. So it's not economically feasible to be fighting this war anyways, man. So look, and I forgot to show y'all how the senators in the front of the hearing did not give a shit about this dude. So I'm going to play that for y'all.
He's a Marine. Someone come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys. You're robots. You won't even look back. Look at you guys. You're like robots. Oh my God. What is happening? And you're not even looking back. Any of you 4-star generals. Oh my God. What is happening right now? Eyes front, robots. Shame. Shame. Oh my God, you guys.
Everybody sit down.
What did I just see? I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please.
Oh my God, what is
That's all.
happening?
Okay. No, it's not.
In case of war with Russia.
Now, this is crazy right here. Malcolm X was speaking on some shit way back in the 60s, man. Or it's the 50s, whatever. And it still holds true in 2026. Listen to this.
Or China. Would you encourage your people to go and fight for America?
In case of war with Russia or China, would we encourage, you mean the black people in America, to fight in defense of America? Black people in this country have fought to defend America ever since America has been America, and black people in this country still don't have the freedom, the justice, and equality that they thought that they were fighting for when they were fighting to defend America.
But would they fight again for America?
Who knows what the black man who has now awakened will do? When the black man was asleep, he was anyone's tool. He was anyone's watchdog. He was anyone's hound dog, hunting dog. But today the black man in America is beginning to think for himself. And as he begins to think for himself, he begins to ask himself, what is he fighting for? And what has he gotten out of all of the fighting that he has already done? And as the black man begins to ask himself this question, then you'll find that many of them begin to wonder, what do they have to fight for? Now, as Muslims, we don't teach. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad doesn't teach us to fight or not to fight. He wakes us up and lets us know what's in store for America. And then anyone who wants to fight in defense of America, it's entirely up to them. But America's next battle will be against God himself.
But would you...
Yeah, guys. So, you know, black people are starting to wake up, man. Some of them aren't. But I question the ones who are far right leaning, right? Are you signing up on the dotted line to go and join the military so that you can fight for the stuff you say you believe in? Because they love to put on that show for white folks and act like they're the most patriotic black people of all time. Now is your time to go and prove it and show them that you're willing to die to protect them. You're willing to be Steven from Django, bro. Go and show them.
So we got American outlets saying that it's only...
Now, this one here is a black woman speaking about how American outlets is saying that the death rate or the casualty rate for military personnel is at a low. But then she's hearing that on the other side that they're reporting that the numbers are actually far more serious than that.
Been 3 to 5 United States American citizens that have been unalived in the Iran retaliation. And yet the Palestine Chronicle is saying that it's been more than that, according to Iran, to the tune of over 500 U.S. soldiers being killed or wounded. Iran reports 560 American casualties from its strikes, and the U.S. confirms 8 serious cases, rejecting Tehran's figures. The IRGC says strikes on U.S. bases killed and injured approximately 560 American personnel. U.S. Central Command confirms that 3 U.S. soldiers have been killed and 5 seriously wounded.
See?
Iran claims multiple bases in Kuwait and Bahrain have been heavily damaged. Washington rejects Iran's higher figures and says operations remain ongoing. It would behoove me to think that Trump would not want people thinking over 500 American citizens have been killed because of their decision, him and Isn't decision, to start and pick a fight with Iran. That way he can continue operations, even though we know that he also asked Iran for a ceasefire, or he offered them a ceasefire, and Iran said, bitch, no. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? Which numbers are the real numbers? Because me personally, I'm more inclined to believe Iran's figures than these United States and Isn't numbers. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
I don't know what to think. Either one could be a lie, honestly. Iran has incentive to make the numbers look like they're greater than what they are. Obviously, America has incentives to make the numbers seem like they're much smaller than they actually are. Someone's saying something to gain out of both of those narratives. But what I will say is this, though. Trump is a piece of shit, and he doesn't care about Americans, and that's a fact. Because in the Time interview that he just recently took part in, they asked him, is it a possibility for attacks on American soil? And he says, yeah, I guess, sure. Like I said, this is war. And sometimes in war, people die. This is what he told the interviewer. Does that sound like a man who's empathetic towards the American people? Does that sound like a man who actually cares about Americans? Nah, that sounds like a man who's trying to protect his political interests. And I think what is happening is this. I think that he's trying to put it in such a way and make this thing play out in such a way to where he's going to be in office indefinitely and invoke what's it called? Article 5 or some shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about, when he can postpone elections because there's a war happening at the moment. And another thing I want to say is this.
Behind me, from left to right, is Sergeant William Rivers, Specialist Kennedy Sanders, and Specialist Breonna Moffett. And this brother and these 2 sisters were members of the Army Reserve in the state of Georgia. And this past Sunday, they lost their lives to a drone strike on a U.S. base in Jordan near the Syrian border. And as I sit here and look at these 3 black service members, I can't help but to wonder, what was their motivation for joining the military in the first place?
Hey, bro, as a black man, and I can't speak for all black people, a lot of black people join the military not because they're patriotic and they're willing to put their life on the line for America. A lot of times it's because they're from the inner city, and in least at that point in time in their life, they don't feel like options are just out there for them. So the military is a stepping stone for them to get to the next level. They can get training, they can get education, housing, and build skills and have a career. And also you have people in their ear saying, like, once you retire, you know, you get that GI bill, and not the GI bill, whenever they receive the money from the VA and things of that nature, like, you know, the package when they get paid every single month. Some people are getting $3,000-$4,000 a month because they was in the military for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, that's why a lot of people sign up. People ain't signing up because they want to go and die in a war, bro. That's not why black people are signing up.
Iran has chosen to attack at
Now, this is a very, very interesting dialogue between Iran and us. Listen to this shit.
10 other countries, many of them your Arab neighbors. None of them were involved in this war. Why are you attacking your Muslim neighbors during the holy month of Ramadan?
Oh, please don't mistake. We have not attacked our neighbors. We have not attacked Muslim countries. We have attacked Americans' targets and Americans' bases, Americans' installations, which are unfortunately located in the soils of our neighbors. So we have made it clear for them. I have been in touch with their foreign ministers, and I have explained that we are not targeting you. We have no problem with you. We are only targeting the American installations and American bases. And the reason is obvious.
But Minister, Iran is hitting civilian targets, striking hotels, high-rise apartments, airports in many of these countries. Those are not military targets.
Now, look, this is the disingenuous shit here, because guess what? America has hit targets that were civilians, too. There's a a school, I believe, that was hit where over 175 people were killed, mostly children and some teachers. But you ain't gonna bring that up during the interview.
Well, no, we have targeted very well the Americans are. Maybe there have been some collateral damages, as it is in every war. Look, more than 70,000 people were killed in Gaza by Israelis, and Israeli army called all of them collateral damage. So yes, there is.
And look, y'all, Israel. Let me tell you something about them, bro. They don't believe in symmetry at all. What I mean by that is this: if Gaza blew up something in Israel and it killed 10 people, Israel is going to attack and retaliate and kill 1,000 people. It's off balance. That's what I'm getting at.
Possibility of collateral damages in this situation as well. This is what we have warned everybody in the region beforehand, that if the U.S. attack us, we have no way but to attack their installations, which are in your territories, and then everything may go out of hand, and the war would become a disaster for the whole region. This is what we have warned, and many others have warned, and many Americans have also warned the U.S. administration, do not repeat the same mistake. They have done it before in our region, and this is what they have done. This war is not our war. This is not our choice. This is a war of choice by the United States.
Iran has...
Hey, everything he just said is facts. They started this shit. Real talk. And then of all times to do it, they did it during the holy month of Ramadan. I'm not a Muslim, but I'm just saying you're doing it during a highly spiritual month for them, which is a real slap in the face. Very crazy. Y'all know what else is crazy? History doesn't repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. George Bush and them was talking about the occupancy in Iraq back in 2000 as if it could. This is what someone said, basically. Tell me if this doesn't sound eerily similar to what they're saying about the war in Iran right now. I don't know how long this could last. It could be 6 days. It could be 6 weeks. I highly doubt it'll be 6 months. Didn't they say that about Iraq in 2000? And how long did that shit last? A decade. So if you think that this is going to be over fast, I don't know. The only way it'll be over really fast is if they just come to their senses and say, we're going to cut our losses. That's the only way, because, man, it's off balance. It costs millions of dollars to defend themselves against things that cost tens of thousands of dollars. The math don't math. We ain't got that bread like that, bro.
I believe these 3 members were black. Okay, they were...
Okay, 3 Army Reserve soldiers killed in Jordan drone strike are identified. This is from 2 days ago. The slain soldiers were Sergeant William Jerome Rivers. You met a white Jerome Rivers. The only white Jerome I can think of is Jerome Powell right now. The rest of them black. Kennedy, LaDon Sanders, Breonna. Black folks, please don't go die for these folks, man. Please, man. This is so unfortunate.
Culturally black. And I got to say that because here in this country, there are a number of African American people, all right, that are part of the United States military. But I think that they were culturally black. The conversation that's being had right now is how it's just simply not worth it. When you talk about black people, getting out there, putting their life on the line behind American interests that don't really mean anything to the so-called black community at all. And if it does, we are extra last. Okay. I agree with the statement, man. And those are the kind of things that black people got to start being more likely to withdraw from when, just like being stated, you look up and you kind of like see how this country treats us. I mean, today, man, in these modern times, they are literally running around here creating AI stories, okay, to drag the so-called black community. That's not a country that you're pulling up, putting your life on the line for, okay? And there are, amongst other things, okay, but that's just a strong example, all right? There are a number of so-called black people sitting around talking about, well, they would have never enlisted under this administration. It really don't matter the administration. All right. It doesn't matter the administration. OK. At the end of the day, America is not going to mean more to you because a Democrat is in office versus a Republican. And see, that's the reason why I tell y'all, man, we draw the line. Black people who are thinking like that, man, they are extra yesterday. All right. Sitting around here kind of like entertaining this idea, well, You know, if it's Democrats, it's up. If it's Republicans, it's not. That ain't benefited the black community. What that benefits is these various different people who sit around and exploit your goofy. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Hey, they exploit the idea of you joining the military because you want a Hellcat, a Charger, free education, a house, a career. That's how they get you in there, bro. And then you stuck like Chuck if they go to war. Interesting point I want to make. It seems like most of these wars are against conservatives, The conservatives of America are always going against the conservatives of whatever country that they're occupying. Have you thought about that? Real talk. All right, guys. So I wanted to put this in here to drive a point home, right? And I honestly don't know exactly how true this is, but whatever. If this is the case, all the more reason why black people should not be fighting in this war.
Iran had a Malcolm X stamp back in 1984. Iran has a Patrice Lumumba Street in Tehran. Iran had a conference against police brutality for black Americans back in 2015. President Hassan Rouhani and Ayatollah Khomeini spoke out after the death of George Floyd when many conservatives were mocking him and saying that he died of a drug overdose. During the Iran hostage crisis...
That still pisses me off to this day. You can literally argue with people on the right about George Floyd and they would say he died from a drug overdose when all of the autopsies confirmed that it was from strangulation, basically.
Iran freed the African Americans 2 weeks after the start of the crisis because they thought they weren't spies and showed solidarity with oppressed people. To put it in context, that's more than a year before the end of the Iran hostage crisis, which ended in 1981. Iran supported Venezuela and the Bolivarians when America was sanctioning the economy to death by doing trade and supporting Venezuela's sovereignty and defense, helping them build up their drone industry. Iran's been one of the few instances of resistance against is not real's expansionism and supporting the resistance in Palestine and throughout the Middle East. But the Islamic Republic is an oppressive regime, ironic coming from the people who support the Shah and his son. The Shah of Iran that ruled brutally for 26 years, you know, the one that had a secret police called the Savak that was backed by the CIA and Mossad. The same one that was massacring protests, torturing people, and extrajudicial killings. And speaking of which, how did the Shah of Iran even get into power? He came in 1953. Oh. So you mean to tell me that the Shah of Iran got into power because he overthrew the democratically elected leader of Iran, Mohammad Mossadegh, who wanted to nationalize the oil in opposition to America and the UK?
Didn't I tell you it's always conservatives versus conservatives?
But you say you support democracy and the protesters, the same protesters that Is Not Real has said they have been arming, that Mossad has been saying that they have been infiltrating. The Islamic Revolution of 1979 was led by the people. The people of Iran chose Mohammad Mossadegh back in 1953. America and the UK said no. They installed their puppet who brutalized the population, brutalized Muslims, and Iran had enough, so they had a revolution back in 1979. So no,
and the revolutions are always violent, y'all. They're never peaceful.
I'm not going to back the Islamic Republic's downfall and toppling. No, I'm not going to do that.
This is crazy work, bro.
Those of y'all that's excited about the shit that's going on in Iran, I need you to go sign that dotted line and make sure you go fight for this country. There's people right now dying in the peaceful areas of the Middle East and Kuwait. They just bombed out my old security forces squadron over there at Ali Al Salim. This shit is no joke. It's always the people who don't ever do shit for the country that be having the most to say, acting like you're such a patriot, but your punk ass never ever want to put on a uniform. Come on, dog. Y'all be saying the wildest shit online. Y'all don't give a fuck because you're in the comfort of your home. But what are you going to do when they bring the fight to your ass? Right there at your doorstep. Because ain't no telling what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I do think this is not going to be an easy war. I do think there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. And honestly, if you have flights booked to go out of country and shit like that, I don't think you should go. That's just my opinion. Honestly, I'm not going anywhere now anytime soon thanks to this shit. I'm not saying we in trouble. I'm just saying, like, y'all need to keep your head on a swivel, man, because ain't no telling what's finna happen. Trump, you motherfucker. Those of y'all that's...
Hey, bro, look at these comments of delusional people, bro. Sometimes I don't even know if they real. I be thinking they bots, bro. Why everyone's so worried? We're America. We're literally a superpower. I get if you have family serving, it's scary. See, that's that dumb shit. People going to worry about their family, dummy. But we don't have boots on the ground. These are military operations, not a full-blown war. And we're stacking victories like crazy. Oh, let me put on my accent. And we're stacking victories like it's war. It's Iran, it's Iran. We're talking about, come on, they barely got numbers. And it's old, outdated tech. Sir, that old, outdated tech is putting belt to ass. That $20,000 drone, when it's headed towards something that they want to destroy, in order to not allow it to destroy something, they got to spend $1 million+ to ward off something that costs $20,000, dog. It's economically infeasible to think that this is going to be a war to win, bro. Like, some people are stupid. Currently, active duty Army combat engineer with 8 years in, and I'm excited. Yeah, I bet you are, bro. Hiding behind a fucking, look at this profile, bro. You're nobody. Look at this. You're no one. You're talking out the side of your neck. You ain't really like that. I don't believe none of them people in the comment sections, dog. Well, listen, man, stay safe. Do not sign up for war if you don't have to. Y'all be cool. Let me get at y'all. Oh, man, look, let me tell you something new. Send your boy some hypes. I need it like a crackhead need a pipe. Y'all be cool.